Welcome to Crash.
It's the final parts.
And it's a half an hour long.
Yeah, there wasn't really a good place to cut this in half, so it's going to be an extra long video this time.
Yep. So if you're gonna watch this, make sure you put it into watch later if you can't watch it in one sitting.
Yeah, you get half an hour of my wonderful voice.
Or you
All of ours.
Or you could grab
and also
some
these.
Or you could grab some popcorn.
Yeah, because
it's gonna be a good snack.
Yeah, this is the other dark level I was talking about. This one is a pain to do to get the gem.
Because I saw that one section alone. Because I saw that there was one section that involved like very good timing jumps and stuff.
I finally figured out what this and also the river levels I think they were in Crash 2, remind me of. Did anybody ever play the Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase game for the PlayStation?
No, I mean, I remember seeing previews for that on the DVD thing or whatever, but I never played that.
It's a fairly decent game. Like, the river levels in that game are near identical to this and the ones in Crash 2.
Ah. Well, the main problem with this level is that those axe things are everywhere, and there's so many narrow platforms like this.
Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, that entire game was like eerily similar to Crash.
Yeah, I was just about to ask if it was a Crash clone.
Yeah, it's just like Donald Duck Quack Attack or Going Quackers.
Well, Going but Going Quackers is just kind of some similar elements.
Yeah.
But I'd say, I'd say while good, Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase is very clearly trying to be like Crash. I mean, it does a fairly good job, but...
That reminds me, do any of you watch Cat Icarus?
I do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, because I remember one of his videos where he did a Lilo and Stitch game, and he did a Lilo and Stitch game, and there were some comparisons to Crash, right down to one of the porcupine models being eerily similar to the ones in Crash 2.
And that is interesting.
And not to mention Stitch can spin attack as well.
Although at least that fits for him.
Yeah.
Kind of. I
believe I see a save file for Spider-Man right there.
Yeah, there is.
Yep. That's how I recorded the review, actually.
By the way, go watch that review, because it was really good.
Yay!
And then go watch mine, because they're way better.
Cross promo.
This green jump off doesn't really give
Whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah, it just allows you to skip the level.
Yeah, and it also gives you a bunch of lives, but if you're going for 100%, then you kind of want to play the level itself, because, well, you made it this far, you might as well go the extra mile.
Yeah, you actually can make that jump, but it's pixel perfect from what I heard. It has to be pixel perfect from what I heard.
I've never been able to do it, but yeah, I've heard so. So it's just
watching footage of just any Crash game makes me long for the days when Naughty Dog actually made games.
Back when it wasn't Last of Us.
Or basically when it wasn't bad games with good stories.
Well, I'm interested in...
By the way, I don't like Uncharted.
I'm interested in trying Last of Us, though.
Yeah, same. Because I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I've heard a lot of good things to it, but I think it's probably overrated at this point.
Yeah.
Incredibly over. One of the big problems, a lot of people praise it for its gameplay, when that is probably the absolute worst thing about it.
Yeah.
It's got good story, and I mean, they're turning it into a movie.
Yeah, the story is what really kept me interested in watching a playthrough.
So I was
really happy with the story in general, mainly when it came to the voice acting.
Yeah.
because it gave me a game last year or this year. I think it was this year. I'm pretty sure. No, it was last year. I'm getting my games messed up.
Yeah.
It gave me a game last year where I could. It gave me a game where I could praise Troy Baker's voice acting, whereas I couldn't do that in something like Arkham Origins.
Didn't he do Joker?
Yeah, and he wasn't very good as far as I'm concerned.
I'm kind of debating.
Like he's a good Joker. He's a good Joker on his own, but he doesn't do a really good job of sounding like a younger Mark Hamill.
I'm debating whether to start the Arkham series with Origins or Asylum. Just because I kind of want to.
If you want to play them, in order of story, start with Origins. But
yeah,
if you just want to play in order of release, start with.
Yeah,
Asylum. You're getting good games either way because I'm one of the few people that thought Origins was really good.
Yeah, because I kind of want to.
I mean, it's no Arkham City. It's definitely not Arkham City.
Yeah, because I kind of want to go through them canonically.
Yeah. I mean, they don't really lead into each other, so you could just play Asylum and City and completely skip Origins and miss nothing.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah, but that's just kind of my OCD, I guess. Because I just like going through things in the canon order.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I could not comfortably start reading the Sonic comics until I had started at least way earlier in the run.
Yeah.
So if you like doing things in canon order, then it would probably be a torture for you to do the Zelda games in chronological order. Then.
Just don't do. Basically, all you need to do is don't play Skyward Sword to avoid them.
Play Skyward Sword first.
Well,
watch somebody else play Skyward Sword because then you don't have to play it.
And you just go like, yeah, this is my playthrough. Lol. But what I'm probably gonna do, since Ocarina of Time kind of drained me, I'm just gonna go to the original, skip Zelda 2, go to Link to the Past, and then go to Majora's Mask.
Okay, if Ocarina of Time drained you, Zelda 1 will utterly destroy you.
Well,
use a guide. It's a guide game. You need a guide.
Use a guide. Yeah, use a guide and also, if you really want to, just use cheats, because after a while I completely gave up trying to play that game legitimately.
Well, I'm just gonna get a map, just find all the secrets, lay them out on the map, and then when I do them in the game, just cross them out.
Yeah, I made it up to the second quest, but I just gave up afterwards.
I finished Zelda 1 about 2 years ago, and I haven't touched it since.
I believe I finished it once, but that was years ago. I was trying to troll him, but it didn't work out in my favor. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So when you jump on these green slime things, his health bar drains. So does that mean we're actually hurting him by doing that?
I don't know. I don't understand how getting rid of those blobs gets rid of his health.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
They're bound together with the Force.
With science.
Of course! Don't you know anything about science?
I was waiting for that, actually.
Doctor. and now he's the Hulk.
Okay.
And now he's Hulk.
Okay, don't spin this guy, because that will just kill you.
And that was still funnier than the Hulk scene with Loki in Avengers.
I still haven't seen that movie.
Still?
I
thought it was good.
I'm slow.
Honestly, at this point, don't even bother.
I'm slow with movies.
Oh.
I was the same with Avengers. I didn't see it in theaters because I just didn't care. I didn't buy the DVD because I didn't care. And I saw it when it finally came out on Netflix, and it had a year of hype behind it, and then I hated it.
I think
that was solely because of the hype. I was expecting it to be something that at that point it could not possibly live up to.
I think just at some point I'm just going to be like, okay, I'm just gonna buy all these movies I've missed out on over the years and just sit down and watch them all.
Alright, well, if that's the case, then just watch Guardians of the Galaxy. Because that movie is really good.
I
Give that movie a second chance.
really big
Like,
trouble
it's not
with this.
bad, but it didn't really do anything for me.
But this level in particular isn't necessarily hard, but for some reason I had so much trouble with it.
Also, one movie this year that definitely is a must-see, Big Hero 6.
Oh, I still want to see that.
It's so good.
I hate this right here. You have that guy that electrocutes himself with the electric fence kind of thing, and that bridge that you can activate by spinning the switch.
Didn't those enemies come back in Crash 2 and you could, like, actually kill them? You didn't have to throw them off a ledge?
Yeah, they're in Crash 2.
Yeah, there's a lot of variations of that enemy in 2.
In Crash, and in Crash 3.
Oh yeah, that is true. Because like in the secret bonus room in 3, you see like Cortex's minions going to the levels.
Yeah, they're being like transformed into certain things in order to fit the theme of the levels they're going to.
Also, don't go under the doors when they're closing because they will crush you.
Oh, I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah. 90% complete. We could go and fight.
Done.
We could go and fight Cortex now, but I believe we're going for the rest of the gems.
Yeah, so the rest of it is just a gem run.
Pretty much.
Woo.
But
And now you got the yellow Chaos Emerald.
Da-da-da-da.
He's gonna, but he doesn't transform into Super Crash, sadly.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
That'll be later.
Just read.
Also, did you hear the rumor that there might be something Crash related at PlayStation Experience on the 6th?
Oh,
There-
really?
Oh,
sick.
okay.
Yeah, there was a Tails channel tweeted a poster or something, and then the Sony of Europe Twitter account tweeted something about it.
Okay, now I'm really interested.
Yeah, so on the 6th, we'll see if they confirm something Crash related.
I hope
Okay.
so. Please.
It better be.
A lot of people thought they were just that it was just an internet made rumor, but along with that Sony of Europe tweet came a kind of a Crash Through the Ages style GIF that showed like him morphing from his PS1 appearance all the way to Mind Over Mutant and what he looked like in that one.
Oh, that is interesting.
Which was cool, but it reminded me that Crash of the Titans existed.
Oh.
I kind of want to play it just because. I don't know. Try it.
It's like a train wreck.
Yeah.
I mean, like I heard it was a good game, just not a good Crash game.
Oh no, it's not even a good game.
The combat.
I played it before I had played any of the Crash games, and it was horrible.
The only thing I can really give it credit for, from what I've seen, is the cutscenes. Well, at least in Mind Over Mutant.
Okay, I can't speak for Mind Over Mutant, but the Crash of the Titans. Yeah.
The ones in Titans is kind of unmemorable because I've seen them all, but they're really unmemorable to me. I just remember that they completely butchered Tiny.
And Uka Uka, really everybody actually.
And Cortex's face there is freaking messed up.
Also, I just want to point out there is an actual Crash Bandicoot manga.
Huh.
That's interesting. I want to read that now.
It was only ever released in Japan. But it probably has an English translation of some kind.
Speaking of which, I think in Crash 3 in Japan, there are 3, like, secret movies, like CG movies or something like that.
Really? That's interesting.
I can't find them. evil Crash a character from like badly made Crash plushies.
Yeah, even spawned from a really
Crash
Japanese plush.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like that Naughty Dog actually has like a sense of.
Well, they don't anymore, but they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back then they did.
I don't know.
And not to mention the Crash dance. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, the Crash dance was taken from a Japanese commercial for Crash 1, where like a guy in a Crash suit was doing that dance, and they put that in Crash 2.
Yeah, it feels so weird now going back to this game, and after you defeat a boss, just having Crash jump into the air and go, yeah!
Yeah, it's not the same as the Crash dance. That's iconic.
Yeah.
You'll never beat the Crash dance.
Nothing will. Oh, I hate this so much.
Don't you just love invisible platforms?
Nope.
This reminds me of those invisible ice platforms in Cloudman stage in Mega Man 7.
I have a long way to go to get to 7, so.
Oh, it's so bad.
I think I remember like seeing something like that. I think if you use a certain robot master weapon on that, the platforms are visible.
If you use robots, you can see the platforms, but otherwise they're invisible.
Where's the game with the Ghosts and Goblins theme?
That was Mega Man 7.
Ah.
Yeah, when you play on Shade Man stage and put a certain button sequence and it replaces the music with the Ghosts and Goblins theme.
You hold down the select button, I think. Shade Man was like the only good thing to come out of Mega Man 7.
Oh.
And bass, actually.
Oh yeah.
Now we're going to the first island.
Yep.
Still waiting. Actually, I'm still waiting for bass to become a major element in the Mega Man comics. When that happens, I'll
Alright.
start reading it regularly.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, yeah, there's going to be another Mega Man Sonic crossover comic coming soon. I think you probably know about it.
Yeah, I heard about that. The only thing I ask is it please let it matter in some way to Mega Man's universe, because Worlds Collide meant nothing to the Mega Man universe.
I still need to read
the characters did not even remember it in the Mega Man universe.
No, the Sonic characters did, but not the Mega Man ones. And it's kind of hinted that they do, because I read one of the Mega Man comics in my library, and it has a section of the aftermath of what happened after the comics, and Dr. Wily said, why do I feel like crushing the carton of eggs?
Yeah, but that's just a sudden urge he had and had no reason, and he didn't know why. The characters still don't know that they ever met Sonic and everybody, and it was a complete waste bringing Mega Man in because it meant nothing.
I don't like it when crossovers
it clearly existed only to get the Super Genesis wave to happen in Sonic's universe that wiped out all of Ken Pender's characters. I'm not even joking. That's exactly what it did.
Yeah, I don't like it when crossovers do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't like it when they just focus on one series and just have the other franchise there just because it's a crossover.
Well, like, in the story itself, Mega Man was important, but having it, like, as a concept, having the Super Genesis wave affect both of them meant nothing in Mega Man's universe.
Yeah.
Like, I think all it did was fix some buildings that had been destroyed in Mega Man's fight with Breakman, and that was it.
So, secret path.
Yep, another secret path. Secret paths galore.
Yeah, see, the river levels in Scooby-Doo and Cyber Chase are almost exactly like these. I think they might be sure for the river.
Also, those, like, piranha plant-like things, kill you in one, even if you have, like, invincibility.
Yeah.
Which is kind of annoying.
Timing is everything.
Yeah, and I like that you just skipped ahead, because, like, we don't need to go through that list of gems again.
Yeah. I think this is the last one.
They said you had 25 out of 26, so...
Yeah.
Probably is.
Oh, this.
I don't remember this section.
Yeah. I
remember those platforms.
I think this is...
Yeah, oh yeah, the platforms. Yeah, I don't know those.
I think this section is actually harder than the entirety of the second version of this stage.
You know, you gotta wonder how anybody would figure out that you're supposed to do that.
Because Naughty Dog.
Yeah, there's one section where there's a box in these areas.
I think you got it. But I guess we'll find out.
Well, I don't think it was in that section, actually. I think it's another one. Yeah, I think it's this. Yeah, it's probably this one. In the failed recording session, actually, I forgot to go back and break that other box that got me up here, so it's just like, you missed one box.
And you're just like, why? I could imagine.
This is why I'm really happy. I think it was Crash 3 that told you how many boxes you had and how many there were.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crash 3 did that.
And
I think Crash 2 at least told you how many were in the level, or how many you got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but at the end...
But Cold Hard Crash is probably like the biggest offender. Because of that one box obscured in that bonus stage.
Yeah.
The incredibly cryptic hiding places for the boxes is the main reason why I just don't care about getting 100% in any of the Crash games.
Yeah. I never did get 100% in any of the Crash games on my first playthroughs, but then again, I was a kid back then.
Well, I can do it.
I'm just not even gonna bother. I did it in Link to the Past. I did it in Zelda 1. I did it in Link Between Worlds. I did it in Ocarina of Time, among a bunch of other games. But I can do it in Crash.
Yeah. And nowadays I'll do 100% completion whenever I can. Like in games where I can do it. But however, like in my case, 100% in Donkey Kong Country Returns means all the Kong letters, all the puzzle pieces, and that's about it. I'm not going for time trial in any of that or mirror modes.
Do that. But yeah,
for me, I just would rather not play Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Because if you want to have a good experience with this game, don't bother with the gems.
You sped it up.
Yeah. I don't think you need to see all that.
No.
No, we definitely did.
You got all of them.
No, we definitely needed to
now Crash can get the good ending.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and a secret non-canon ending.
Yeah. So the other games, the 100% ending is canon, in this game it's not. Yeah.
It kind of it reminds me, like, you did all that effort for nothing. It's kind of like doing any playthrough of Shadow the Hedgehog, actually.
Yeah. It's like, I could go to Cortex now, but I did this because you can go to Cortex if you have all the gems, but I just did that just to make it feel like a full playthrough.
Yeah, because once you have all the gems in that level, all the gems you collect to become platforms, it leads you to the non-canon ending.
Yeah, so you can actually finish the game without fighting Cortex at all, which I don't really want to do.
Which makes which if you did that and then played Crash 2, have fun being confused.
Yeah. Yeah, because I played Crash 2 before I played Crash 1, so I didn't. And like I said before, I didn't get 100%, so I didn't know why Cortex was falling from the blimp. And in Crash 3, I didn't know why a satellite crashed into the temple where Uka Uka was captured.
I didn't really think.
And also didn't know why he sounded completely different.
I didn't really think too much about that as a kid, just because I didn't really think too much about those things back then. I was just kind of like... I was just like, yeah, this is Crash.
Yeah, same.
Meanwhile, I just played Sonic Heroes and never finished it until about a year ago.
So, I actually played Crash 2 last. I went from 3 to 1, and that was a huge contrast. And then only recently have I gone to 2.
I played them all in order, but I've only ever finished 2 and 3.
Yeah, I like that Tana suddenly just shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
She was in the blimp.
It's the last time you're gonna get Crash.
Yep.
So you're gonna...
Tana completely disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah, she leaves him for Pinstripe.
I like how the castle just randomly, like, goes on fire.
Yeah, I was wondering how did that happen?
You should have done the thing from Clue. That's how it could have happened. But what if it went like this?
There were some things I could have done, like the doodle-loo-loo-loo. I'm just too lazy to edit that.
I mean, like
from Wayne's World.
Yeah, I went to town in terms of editing for Return to Dreamland, adding specific sound effects for depending on what power Kirby gets. Like for when he gets the sword ability, it plays the item get jingle from Zelda.
Yeah.
And when he gets fighter, I just use Street Fighter sound effects.
Be careful with editing because there is such a thing as over editing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of
I did the same thing in a Batman Arkham City playthrough that I recorded and edited for another commentary channel, where every time I did a stealth takedown, I played the "I'm Batman" clip from Batman Begins.
I believe this.
And like 90% of Arkham City is stealth sections, so.
Oh, jeez.
I think these descriptions are actually canon, but don't quote me on that.
Probably, because I mean, going to years of education. I mean, because I mean, for Ripperoo saying he went for education and stuff, I guess that kind of makes sense because in Crash 2 we kind of see him as a university professor or something like that, but he's still insane.
But he's still completely insane.
I think Embryo and what was it? Ripperoo are the only characters besides Cortex that came back.
Yeah, Embryo was the only one of them that came back. I mean, because I'm pretty sure all these guys came back for Crash Team Racing, though. But other than that, they haven't made an appearance in another Crash game canonically. But don't quote me on that. They probably are.
I think they showed up briefly in Twin Sanity during the tutorial level.
Oh,
but that doesn't count.
Very briefly though, for 2 seconds.
That's right.
Sanity was the last good Crash game.
Yeah.
I probably agree with that. Yeah.
So should we say our final thoughts since Crash 1 is done?
Well, who wants to go first?
Certainly is a PS1 game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my final thoughts were I guess. I mean, it's a good game, but it wasn't one of the first games it wasn't my first Crash game. It was the one I played last, to be honest. So I don't really have a lot of memories with it, because, I mean, since I played the sequels first, so I can't really say a lot, but I did like it for what it was. The sequels just did everything much better, though. That's what I can say about it.
Pretty much.
It's literally Sonic 1. There's nothing inherently wrong with it, just the rest are better.
Pretty much.
Basically.
This game is fine, it's fun. It's fun to play if you're going through just the story. If you want to get the gems, then it's almost an entirely different game. And... yeah, just don't bother. Unless
it's the same story. It's the same story for Sonic Lost World. You'll enjoy it if you don't go for all the red rings on your first playthrough.
Yeah, but it's just unless you want to have the satisfaction of 100%, don't bother. And it's a fine game, but the sequels are just much better. That's just the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, Crash 1 is probably the first example, or at least first notable example, of a good Western-developed game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because at the time, you look at a lot of Western-developed games, they wound up like Awesome Possum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, Crash was probably one of the few successful attempts that tried to cash in on the whole mascots with attitude thing.
Yeah. But with that,
Rocket Knight was also fairly successful, and if there was any mascot other than Crash that did deserve to stay after the mascot craze of the '90s, it was definitely Sparkster.
Oh yeah, I played a bit of Rocket Knight.
Well, with that, that's the end of the Crash Bandicoot playthrough. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Or will we?
That's for you to decide.